Welcome into today's broadcast right here at Cog Hill Farm. Now, Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the house for this episode, so here's Jason, Brooke, and our chicken master, Marycarl.
What is up, everybody? This is another episode of the Cogcast podcast coming at you from the canned ham over at the Cog Hill 40. Coming at y'all. Hope y'all having a wonderful, wonderful day. It is actually evening time here.
It is.
Today.
It's tonight.
It is tonight.
Well, we just did a take two, and I said something that he wasn't supposed to know about. It wasn't like pre-planned, but as I sat down and I was thinking about what I was thankful for today, I thought I would he already knows now because we had to do a take two, but today I wanted to share something with y'all, and no, I'm not pregnant. That being said,
oh my gracious.
I wanted to start by saying how thankful I am for Jason. And it's something that I don't talk about very often. I'm not a very huggy, lovey, emotional person, but today I am just sitting back thinking, if Jason was going to an 8-to-5 job, which he did for 22 years, and we had what going on now, what we used to deal with on a daily basis, clocking in and out, and, sun up, sundown, your life starts over, we wouldn't be able to get done what we've done. And it's all thanks to Jason.
Well, thank you so much.
He doesn't never clock out. He's going from 0 to 60 from the time he opens his eyes till the time he closes them at night. And when we get finished with our day's job, he goes on to his second job, which is editing videos. Our first job is outside working, trying to get our farm in order and making videos, and then he has to edit them. So, there's never a dull moment around here for Jason. He doesn't get any downtime.
Yeah.
He could if he wanted to, but he doesn't. And that's because he wants to continue to grow and to provide for his family and to do what we love.
This is what we love.
He said when I said it in the take one that he was going to cry, but
I did say that because it caught me off guard.
It caught me off guard too because I didn't plan on coming in here saying how thankful I am for you,
and it didn't record.
It didn't record, but he is the whole brains behind this whole operation. Man. He figures out what we're going to video during the week, what we're going to talk about. He edits them. All I do is just sit here.
You do a lot, though. Trust me, you do a ton of stuff.
I don't do
Maybe
a
not
drop.
on the technical end of it, but
No.
you do a lot.
I don't do a drop compared to what you do. And I guess the man is supposed to be the provider, but still I sit back and I feel like there are times when I am watching TV with Marycarl and you're out here editing a video.
Yeah, but...
Or, we're doing something fun and you're doing something that's work.
I know, it works, though.
It does.
It works.
But,
and I enjoy doing everything we do, so that's
I
the
know,
good part.
if you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't have started the YouTube channel to begin with.
That's right.
But I will say that there were so many times when Jason would just be working on a project and Marycarl and I would go see what he was doing and he'd be filming, and I just thought, that's ridiculous. I never said anything. I kept my tongue bit, but I just thought, why is he doing that? That was my thought. Why is he doing that? And look how far he has came.
Yeah, we hit 150,000 subscribers tonight on our main channel.
Marycarl wanted to go to town, so Marycarl and I went to town. Of course, Jason's working, and on my way home, Marycarl answers my text when I'm driving. So she says, Mama, Daddy said we just hit 150,008 subscribers. And I was like, woohoo, because that is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was, and I really don't keep up with subs anymore. I really don't. And I just so happen to look at the channel and see how things were going behind the scenes, and I just saw it. It was right there in front of me.
And that's what I mean by working. Even though you weren't like sitting down with a shovel digging holes, you were working. You were working on your statistics. And
I was looking at the back end of the stuff.
See, you're working.
How things are going.
You don't stop working, and that's what I mean. That's what I'm thankful for.
Well, thank you so much for that, and I'm thankful for you and everything. Just
one day,
you pushed me and you may not know it, but you did.
Well, I told Marycarl on our way home this evening, I said, Marycarl, you know what I'm going to do when we get our house built? And she said, what, Mama? I said, I'm going to sit down on the couch and watch TV. And she looked at me and she said, no, you're not. Because even though I just said I watch TV with Marycarl, that is just 30 minutes. I mean, it's not, and it's at night when nothing else can be done.
Yeah.
We're in a camper, so it's not like we can, I don't know, you can only clean up so much. And
you can only clean up so
We've
much.
been watching a show that's set back in the 1700s.
You told me about this show that y'all been watching.
Don't ask me the name of it because I couldn't tell you, but it's on PBS, which is a, public broadcasting. I don't know how I found it, but I was just looking for something new for us to watch while you're working, editing videos and such. And we usually like to pick up a little series, and this is our new series.
Right.
It's about a farm, a veterinarian.
A veterinarian.
He's a veterinarian, and he wants to. I don't know. I'll find out the name of it.
Right.
I'll look while you talk. How's that?
That'll work. You can look while I talk.
I've enjoyed this series though. It's a 2 seasons, and it's like 7 episodes per season. But it's been real.
It's like Dr. Paul in the 1700s.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just crazy how things were done back then.
That is, yeah, it is. You were telling me this stuff about it. Now it's crazy how they
I'm gonna
dressed.
find out the name of it.
They wear
and
fancy clothes while they're going to go pull a cow.
Yeah. One of them, the veterinarian, he had a suit on, like a 3-piece suit, and the new vet that was coming in to apply for the job had dress shoes on, and they were going to pull a cow or something. And the veterinarian had knee-high leather boots on. He was prepared for the mud, but the new veterinarian had his loafers on, and he stomped right through the mud. I'm going to figure out what the name of it was.
You do that.
And you tell them what's going on in the world.
Well, I was going to talk about the newest addition to the farm, and that is Mr. Moody. I guess all y'all probably now know who Mr. Moody is. And, man, he has really, really settled in big time. He, the first few days he was here, he just moved and paced, and I don't know. But now he is just really calm and relaxed. One thing is that when we got him the round bale of hay the first day, we got him. Oh, what that noise is?
It's probably my phone.
It may have been. Oh no, I pushed that in and it went away.
Okay. I'll get off of it. Can you remember what that's called? I think it was
your phone. We got him a round bale of hay, and he literally skipped like a little girl.
He did. It was so funny.
Going to the round bale. I'm talking about, y'all, he skipped. And he got on the round bale of hay, and he started rolling and playing.
Pushing his face up against it.
He's like a dog. I am not kidding when I tell y'all that. He is like a dog.
Well, when we first found out about Moody, it was kind of late that evening.
It was late that evening.
And a friend of mine that lives, 12 miles down the road?
Not very far.
She had sent me a picture of Moody and said that she came home and this cow, is what she said, was standing at her deck, and he scared her to death because she doesn't own a cow. She has lots of goats.
Right.
So she said that beside the fact that he scared her to death, he was trying, he came to visit her goats.
Right.
And so she said that she didn't know what to do. She knew it belonged to the neighbors, and he had just literally knocked a fence over that wasn't very secure to come to her property to visit her goats.
Yeah.
So she had hay on hand, obviously, because she has goats. And she said she didn't have a bucket big enough to feed Moody in, so she just put the hay in a cardboard box. When the picture that she sent me, and I went and showed Jason, he didn't look big at all.
He did not look big at all. But it's one of those things where you don't have anything to compare him to,
No, but I still thought he was about the size of Bear.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
Yeah, because
Bears are Great Pyrenees. He looked like a miniature cow in the picture.
He sort of did look like a miniature cow in the picture.
And I was like, oh my gracious, he's so cute. So, I mean, when she contacted the neighbors and said, look, I know these wonderful people that could possibly take Moody, but if y'all want to repair the fences, we'll work with you with that. And so after she went over the whole spiel about who we were and what our, purpose was and such as that, then the owners contacted me and they said that, look, we are willing to rehome Moody. We've only been in our place a couple of months and our fences are not good.
Right.
And they said that they had planned to repair the fences, but if we would take Moody and give him a good home and he would stay in our fence, then they would like to rehome him to us. And so, that we were just kind of like, we don't know anything about a cow.
Still don't know anything. We know a lot more now than we did 5 days ago, but yeah, still don't know anything about a cow.
So their reason
steer,
for even considering rehoming him was because their fences just weren't good enough to contain him, but they were going to fix them if we wouldn't take Moody.
Right. And we did say that in the first video that, they had a fence issue, and that's why, the neighbor reached out to us. And so, that was one of the main reasons that, they were scared Moody. I think she was scared Moody may get out on the road or something like that and get hit.
So upon speaking to Jason, we decided that we'd go look at him the next day.
Yeah, go look at him because we didn't know if it was something that we were going to be able to handle. We just didn't know. I mean, I didn't know. I don't know anything about cows or cattle, what per se. And when we got there, he was way bigger than we anticipated. Well, he's tall. He's very tall.
Marycarl and I had went to town earlier that morning, and we just so happened to have to get a few things at one of the feed stores. Mm-hmm. And so we picked up some things for Moody just in case it were to work out.
Right.
So we had sweet feed, which, that's just what you think about when you think about a livestock
That is
animal.
what we think about. But when we did the video and talked about the sweet feed, that's just, we got an all stock sweet feed.
We needed something to lure him with.
We need something to lure him with, and we still, of course, we're not cattle people by all means. But we had so many cattle people reach out to us, and just
we know differently now.
We don't need to be feeding him sweet feed,
and we're not.
So sweet feed, we had that one little bag. It was a 50-pound bag. That's gone. And I had a lot of people asking me what kind of feed did we end up buying. We talked about it, but it was a bulk feed from a local feed store called Garrison's. And we talked to them heavily about what Moody was, that he was going to be a pasture ornament. He was a pet. This is nothing we wanting to, beef up and, so we just wanted him as a pet, wanted him healthy. And, they suggested this. Was it just what was it called? Beef mix, wasn't it?
It was just a bulk cattle feed.
Yeah. They had two different ones. They had a bull mix that they originally suggested, and then they had a beef one that they said we could go with as well because they had it in bulk. And it was saved a ton of money by buying it in bulk, and we bought a 55-gallon drum of it.
So we had some cattle people reach out to us and told us that he needed to put on a few pounds.
Yeah,
well, we didn't know. We didn't know if
we don't know anything.
We
about
didn't know
a cow.
anything.
Mm-mm.
So when we went to get the feed, we said, "Well, some cattle people have said that he's probably a Holstein." Is that how you say it?
Most everybody said he's a Holstein. We did have some say that they thought he may have been a Holstein New Jersey mix.
Not New Jersey, just Jersey.
New Jersey. I don't know why I say New Jersey every time.
It's okay.
I'm not a cow person. Then we had some people say that if he was a mix, he'd have spots on his hooves, but his hooves are solid white, so they think he was full-blood Holstein. So, yeah.
I told the guy at the feed store, I said, we don't know anything about him. I said, but, people have reached out to us and told us he needed to put a little bit of weight on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the determining factor in using something that was like a soy pellet.
Yeah, they had a soy. It was actually called it soy hull that these big cattle farmers around here use, and they had this beef mix, and they had I forgot what the other one was.
It was that
bull mix.
Yeah, the bull mix. But they said that if he needed to put a little weight on, then we might want to start off with this one and just let him fill out a little bit.
Yeah, and
get used to a schedule.
Right.
A schedule.
Yeah,
and
schedule.
Have hay all the time. Not to say he didn't have hay and feed all the time where he was. We don't know. I mean, all we know is that the fences were not able to contain him, and they
Right.
wanted to do better with their keeping him in.
Right.
So we went with
Plus they've only been there 2 months. So
yeah,
who knows?
and I didn't know that
Yeah.
at the time.
Right.
When I talked to the owner, he said he was about 2 years old because
Well, we say in the video that the owners have been there a year.
that's what I was told.
Yeah.
And so I don't know the whole story behind it. We never met the owners.
Right.
So I don't want to portray any wrong information about where Moody came from, what his situation was, except for they couldn't keep him in the fence.
Right.
And they were going to have to do some work to repair the fence.
That's right.
So, I mean, if you would imagine your situation and you had a cow that you couldn't contain, it'd be kind of an urgent situation.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's big. He's really, really big. He's a big boy.
So we hooked the cow trailer up
Yes.
when we went to go look at him because I don't know why I never thought that we might not be able to load him. That never crossed my mind. I think because I thought he was little.
I think because you thought he was little, and we heard how tame he was.
Yeah,
from
they
the
said he was
neighbors.
like a puppy
Super
dog.
Tame. Yeah, like a puppy dog, and he is. He really is like a puppy dog. He's almost, and I've said this too. I got several cow friends that own cows, and several YouTubers that are cattle people, and that is Daniel Arms at Arms Family Homestead, and Lester at the I'm a Survivor Animal Sanctuary,
And Chad.
and Chad at Adler Farms. They've all been around cattle and know a good bit way more
And
than
have
I know.
cows themselves.
And have them there. And so, I asked them several, a ton of questions. I've been asking questions left and right, and I forgot where I was going with this now. But I've totally lost train of thought.
So we hooked the horse trailer up and we get over there, and Moody is in her chain link fenced in front yard.
Yes.
This is the neighbor's house now.
Yes.
There's a swing set, just one of those metal swing sets with the swings.
Yeah.
And Moody is standing behind the swings as if he had been swinging.
He did look like he'd been swinging. Oh, I know what I was getting back to is that I've told my buddies that own cows and that he's almost too tame, if that makes any sense.
Yes, and I agree with that 100%. So when we pull up and he's behind that swing set, literally his back was so tall that he was about to hit the bar that the swings hung from.
Yeah,
That's how big he was. And I was just like this. I mean, okay, he's a full-size cow. He's not like a little cow like the picture portrayed him to be.
Right.
We didn't talk about how much he possibly weighed. I just thought he was little.
Yeah, and we kind of don't know how much he weighs. We try to get a weight tape, but neither feed store had a weight tape.
Yeah.
So we're kind of guessing. And we had some, like I said, our friends have been helping us a lot, and roughly, 2,000 pounds is what everybody keeps saying. And so that's what we're going with. Matter of fact, that's what we used when we wormed him.
Well, we were told that you really can't overkill on. I shouldn't even say that because you can.
Yeah, you can.
We won't go into that, but so we're pulling this 2-horse trailer, and I immediately go into the fence with him. I don't know what I was thinking because I've never been around a cow.
Yeah.
But I immediately open the chain link fence and I go in there with him, and he comes towards me, and I'm like, oh my gracious, he's a big boy, and he licks me.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he sees me, he licks me. And so I thought, okay, how are we going to get him out of this little tiny gate? Because he can't fit through that little tiny gate.
Right.
It was just a single gate.
Yeah, you didn't think he could fit through that little tiny gate.
But at the other end of their property was a bigger gate
Yeah.
at the front part of the front yard.
It took us, in the video, we tried to use that rope halter, and he was very, very nervous of that rope halter.
He was. He did not want that halter on him.
And again, getting back from advice from the cattle people, we've had several people say that we need to work with him with that rope halter.
I agree.
So we're going to try, I guess, let's let him get used to it. We used to have horses, and I kind of know a little bit about horses, and I know about, trying to, ease them into things that don't get them, spooked and scared. And so I think I'm going to kind of treat him like a horse when it comes to that halter. And just take it with me out there when I feed him in the mornings, and just let him get to see it and get used to
Rub
seeing
it on him.
Because he was definitely scared of that halter.
He was.
Big time.
And it's probably something he hasn't seen before.
Yes.
And that was something we picked up in town that day. You know, my thought was, how am I going to get him to go to the trailer if he doesn't have a halter on? And I'd asked the people the night before. They told me, they said, I don't know how he does in a halter. We've never let him around or anything. So, you know, I knew going into it that he may not put the halter on, but I still thought I could get it on him.
Yeah.
He was not having it.
He was not having that halter. And he was so big that you didn't want to, you know.
He could just pin you up in a second.
And not being ugly. He could just do it just because he's so darn big. He's a big old boy, and he's a big baby.
I had very bad feelings about things once that halter wouldn't go on.
Yeah, but then he came on out with the bucket and
he did,
actually just followed me a pretty good ways with the bucket. You kind of went in the trailer, and I ran to go get some more food.
Yeah.
And then came back, and you had sprinkled some and set the bucket in there, and he just went right on in.
Well, I think that he had missed his feeding time that day. He had been at the neighbor's house, and he was probably used to being fed at his house.
Yep.
And so he's locked in at the neighbor's house. He could only had access to hay, so he wasn't, you know, he was wanting his grain. He was wanting his feed for the day. So when we put that feed out, it was sweet feed.
Yeah.
We put that feed out, it was just like, hey, it's feeding time.
Yep. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that sweet feed, you know, is kind of like candy, is what we've been told. So yeah, he was enjoying the sweet feed.
He was very motivated to get in the trailer.
Very motivated. And once he got in that trailer, y'all, boy, he shook the whole truck. I'm not gonna lie. He's a big
I was
boy.
in a hurry to get home. I was not driving fast.
You was very nervous.
You don't see me like that very often.
I wasn't that nervous, but you were very, and it's usually the opposite. Usually I'm the one freaking out about stuff like that.
I was nervous.
He was
Marycarl was sitting in the middle of the truck, in the regular cab truck, so I couldn't see the rear mirror because of her head being in the way. And I was like, Marycarl, I can't see. And she was like, Mama, I can't just duck down the whole way home. And I was like, one of y'all got to look behind me and make sure he's okay, because, you know, I just was thinking, I didn't know what was happening behind me, and I was worried about it.
That's right.
So the ride home, I was a little bit leery, because all I could think of was, when this food runs out, this boy's gonna want to move.
Yeah, he's gonna want to move.
But Marycarl had the bright idea to take that big bucket we had just bought.
She did.
Shut it in that trap door.
She did,
which was perfect.
It worked good. It hung right.
Held it.
I don't think we showed that in the video, but the trap door on the side of the horse trailer opens up, and that bucket just hooked right on there and shut it, and it stayed in place. And he ate. He ate pretty much on the way back the whole time. And we didn't have any trouble unloading him. Nope. We got there and got to the 40, and we pulled into the horse pasture, the goat pasture, and the goats were like, well, we're fixing to go for a ride. Soon as we got Moody out, Tip jumps in the trailer. And he's like acting like he's going to go for a ride. But, you know, we were unloading a steer at this time. We weren't taking goats for a ride. The boys didn't know what to think. They didn't. They weren't super scared, but they were, you know, just a little bit cautious. But I still have my thing on. I know, I saw that. Looking attractive, or not? But yeah, they weren't super scared of him at all. There was one part in the video that Tip was eating, and he didn't know Moody was right there beside him eating it. And so Tip's eating away, and he looks up, and you can see his eyes like, man, what in the world? But now, oh man, they're fine. Joe and Moody the other day, literally, I was installing, because I'm still putting in water pipe. I'm going on day 5 of this water pipe and electrical. But they literally, I know they played for an hour. They played and they played and they played, and y'all, Moody, I got some of it on camera. Y'all saw it in the video, but Moody skips. He literally skips. Like, you know, I always say, like, Marycarl, you know, she loves the skip, and that's what it reminds me of. Yeah. And it's just, he just skips, and him and Joe play, and Joe rears up and gives it all he's got. And it doesn't even. And Moody is almost like he's like, little man, I'm going to hold back on you. And he just doesn't. No, Moody doesn't butt hard at all. Now, Joe gives it all he's got, but Moody one time, Joe hit that brick wall
and I'm referring to Moody. But Joe hit that brick wall, and Moody didn't move, and Joe fell over.
Yes, funny.
And it was funny because Joe jumped back up, and he was like, "Man,
it is funny.
I thought I had one up on you, and here I am on the ground."
It is funny. They all get along so well. It was funny. The one day this week, I looked out there, and all four of them, you had Moody, and you had like Tip and Top and Joe were all around that hay bale, and they wasn't probably, this far apart from each other, and they were all just sitting there in unison, eating away in nobody's business. And then you saw Joe in the porta hut laying down asleep,
and Moody was laying beside him. Moody was not in the porta hut, but he was as close as he could get to Joe.
Yeah.
And Marycarl and I like to walk around the pasture, just different parts of the farm that we don't go to every day. So we're walking around, and we end up on the back side of where Joe's paddock is, referring to Moody, the goats. Everybody's paddock is on the back side of this area. So we're walking down the fence line. Well, Moody sees us, and we're on the opposite end of where he normally stays. And Moody comes running. Here he comes. Oh, there's my people. They're down here on the other end. So he's skipping away. He gets down to one end of the pasture where we are, and Marycarl takes off running to the other end of the little paddock area, and he skips all the way down the fence line. He was just giddy that we were down at the other end of the pasture, and he was playing.
He was playing.
It was so funny.
And you sent me a text. You said, "Come out here."
I did.
And then you and Marycarl would skip to one side of the pasture, and Moody would skip right beside y'all.
Yeah.
Then y'all would skip back, and it was so funny. It was so funny. Oh, my gracious.
And this, my friend, is why we wanted to move from the original Cog Hill.
It is. We have a lot more room. I mean, this is it. We wouldn't have the opportunity to get an animal like this or something else in the future. We've talked about possibly a donkey. We may, we're talking about putting Moody in a bigger pasture and possibly getting him a buddy besides the goats. And
lots of plans.
Lots of plans. We got lots and lots of plans.
Marycarl has started researching a cow called a Scottish Highland.
Yes.
And wow, they're pretty awesome little creatures.
They are. I think Chad just got one.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Is that what McFred is?
McFred is a Highland.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. They make a Highland, which is a full size, and then they make a Scottish Highland, if I'm not mistaken, that's a miniature.
McFred's probably just a regular one.
Okay.
He's not a mini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Marycarl would like to have a miniature, what did I say? Scottish Highland.
Yes.
And she would love to bottle feed it. So if any of y'all out there are familiar with that breed and could give us some insight, I know they have long hair. I've read about the humidity in Alabama. I know you'd have to have shade and things like that.
Right.
But it is something that she's interested in. So
it is something she is interested in.
And I've done a little bit of research. However, I wouldn't jump out and buy one right now because research hadn't been completed.
Right.
But I would like to know more from anybody who has raised them firsthand. And as far as Alabama humidity, I mean, I know how our Great Pyrenees are with their long hair, and I just wouldn't want to put an animal in a situation where they couldn't get cooled off.
And we've talked about even alpacas and llamas. And
I just don't like the idea of having to shave them.
Yeah, that's it too.
Or shear them. I
even talked to you about or mentioned the baby doll sheep.
Yes.
Maybe letting them live in their fruit orchard and keeping all that ate and fertilized. But they got to be sheared.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what the fear of the shear is for me, but I have a fear of the shear.
But you know how you tell me that you've seen Dr. Paul just lift the tail of the cow up and he just sits there?
Yeah.
Well, if that's true, you cattle people, let us know in the comments if that's true. I always think of like a bass. If you hold a bass by the lip, you hold the cow by the tail. The reason why I say that is because sheep, evidently, if you turn a sheep over and set it down where it's sitting like a human, it doesn't kick, it just goes into calm mode.
I don't know if
and I don't know if that's true or not, but I've seen it. I mean, I've seen so many. I started watching shearing videos.
One thing's
and every
for
one
sure.
of them, they just sit there.
One thing's for sure, you couldn't turn an alpaca or a llama
No,
up.
no. I was talking about the baby dog sheep.
Oh.
No, not an alpaca or llama. No.
I lost my train of thought.
But you back on the Highland?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I will say this, though. I've had a... Oh, go ahead.
I know what it was.
Go ahead.
We were talking about a lot of people in the video said that Moody's feet need to be trimmed. Hooves need to be trimmed.
They need to be trimmed.
So we know about goat hoof trimming, but we don't know anything. Jason had asked me, he said, what about trimming his hooves? And I said, you don't have to trim a cow's hooves.
Shows you what we know, right?
And he was like, okay.
They look like they need to be trimmed.
And so I just thought, I've never seen anybody trim a cow's hooves,
right.
Steer's hooves, anybody's hooves.
Right.
And so I said, I know what, Jason? I said, if you hold his tail up, I'll trim his hooves.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
Because I've seen them go into that trance, and I could trim Moody's hooves. But our good buddy Derek at the Flying Peach is also...
He's a farrier.
He's also a farrier. And so Derek and Jason have been in contact with each other about possibly trimming Moody's feet.
It's funny because when I seen you the message, because I started searching YouTube on how to trim a cow's hooves, and everything shows this mechanism, and they got all this, and I'm like, oh my gracious, how in the world? We're going to have to take him somewhere because we don't have all this fancy equipment. You should have seen there was one thing that turned them sideways, y'all.
Oh, my gracious.
It was a chute, and it turned this way, and their four legs were sticking out, and they trimmed it. So
what
anyways,
they trim them with?
I don't. I didn't even. Once I saw, I was like, hey, this is over my head. I can't. So I was like, well, I'm going to ask Derek because Derek is a farrier, and I knew he did horses, and I thought I had no idea that he would do Moody.
Well, I don't know why it didn't cross my mind because I knew he had trimmed zebras.
Well, I didn't know he had trimmed zebras.
I knew that, but I don't know why I didn't think about it.
Well, I seen in the message, and my message was exactly, I got a question for you, is how and who would I get to trim Moody's hooves?
I was thinking a vet.
That's what we've been thinking. Me and you both been thinking vets. And so he sent me a message back and said, I can do it. And I was like, what? And I sent him a message back. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. He said, I watched the videos. Moody seems fairly tame. He said, worst case scenario is that we would have to tie him and keep a feed bucket in front of him. He said, but I think shouldn't be an issue. And he went on to tell me he is trimmed. What I send you the text is zebras, camels, pigs, goats, sheep, everything. So
I know he's done some exotic.
And I told him, I said, well, shoot, we might have to get you to hit old Peaches up because, she's out in this pasture now. She's not walking up and down that gravel road. So,
somebody said in a comment today that pig's hooves look like they need to be trimmed.
Yeah.
Well, she hadn't been too long, had a good manicure from Auburn University.
That's right.
I'm not saying she is not on the road to needing them trimmed, but it's probably not there yet because she's just gotten off the gravel.
Yeah, we'll see. And then, of course, Derek said he can do it. So,
Derek's the man.
Yes.
He's the man on the barbecue grill, and he's also the man when it comes to trimming hooves.
I'm so happy. That is a huge relief because we knew that he needed to be trimmed. So right now we've had him wormed.
Yes.
And we got him on a beef feed that's specific for his needs.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in search of a vet, but we got some.
I've got a new contact.
And I got a contact too, talking about Brant's wife, who is a cow person, and she's kind of helped me, and I feel like I can ask her anything too.
Yeah.
And she'll respond back. The only thing that I need to know really is vaccinations. Do we need to do West Nile?
Yeah,
but
there
I'm
is a
gonna ask
vaccination
that. Yeah.
schedule, and I would want the vet to tell us what their regimen is,
Right.
versus us just getting on one ourselves. So,
Right.
I did get the number to the vet that Kelly and Pete
Okay,
that
great.
came this weekend.
Yes,
they
yes.
gave me that vet's name,
Awesome.
so I've got his number. And he kind of does it on the side. He works like a full-time job, but yet he's a veterinarian. I don't really know how that works, but I'm going to contact him and see if he will come over. Now, it may not be, this weekend, next weekend, but we'll get something going.
It's not an emergency, so it's probably going to be something worked in. And we want to get a wellness check. That was another thing that a lot of cattle people reached out to us and told us that he needs to have a wellness check because, you just don't know if there's an underlying thing there. And us not knowing anything about cattle, there was even one person that said his eyes look pink. And make sure he doesn't have pink eye.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had so much feedback that my head was spinning.
Yes.
I mean, just email after email and message after message after message. I would like to say that a lot of people got confused about the mineral block.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that is a salt block with trace minerals in it. It's not.
It's 90%
yes.
salt, 10% minerals.
Correct.
And it will not hurt our goats.
That's right.
And that's why we went with the trace mineral block versus a
The pure
100% salt.
Yeah, then that was
The goats can use the minerals. It has some copper in it, which
Yep.
our goats need copper
Right.
in Alabama. You couldn't give that to a sheep
Right.
because copper will kill a sheep.
Right.
Is that how
That's
you call
correct.
it? Kill a sheep
Yeah.
or a ship?
Sheep. I will. You know, the whole cow thing has been crazy, and we had a lot of people that were nice about it. We did. We had a lot of people, and the reason why I mentioned it in the video because we had a lot of people that were not nice about it.
Yeah.
We had some just, I don't want to say snobby cow people, but I think they were just very rude that we didn't know the correct terminology about calling him a steer because he's not a cow. A cow is a female bovine. You know what we call what we looked up? Bovine. Bovine is because me, and it seems like most of the population that are not cattle people assumed that the word cow was singular for cattle. And according to that's not the case. Cattle is a group of cows, steers, bucks. Sorry, I'm thinking of
A group of bovine. He has
bulls. Sorry, bulls. I was thinking goats. So I just assumed that cow was singular for cattle, but obviously that I am wrong on that assumption.
Well, I noticed that you changed the title of the video pretty quick after it went out.
Yeah, because I was getting hammered. I mean, I was getting hammered, y'all. I was getting message after message.
Somebody
after
made me
message.
smile today because they said that they had been around cows all their life and they didn't care if it was a bull, a steer, or a heifer. They was going to call it a cow.
You know, we just do. It's just, you know.
It's just human nature.
Just most everybody, and I think everybody's the same way. I think everybody thinks that cow refers to a singular of cattle. Just like, you know, you can have a chicken. Well, that chicken could be a hen or a rooster, or a goat could be a buck or a doe.
Well, Marycarl is one of those snobby people because she gets offended if we call
She
Ozella
does.
a peacock.
She does.
And
she
Ozella is our female peahen.
She's a peahen, Daddy. She's not a peacock.
And she doesn't do it with any kind of an attitude. That's her nature because she is a bird fanatic.
Yeah, she's a bird fanatic. And I know that, and like I said, most people were nice about it,
Yeah.
but I had some that were very, very rude and ugly about it.
I'm trying to do better with my language. I'm trying to call Moody a steer
Call him a steer.
and use those horns to steer him with. And somebody said it looked like his horns had been clipped off at the end.
No idea. I'll have to ask somebody. I may even ask Brent's wife because she's got a picture of him.
I think I'm going to ask the vet.
Or ask the vet. Somebody will know if his horns have been. I just don't know.
Derek will know.
Derek will know too, and he's coming this weekend to give him a little manicure.
Well, I will say that I wonder if I could stay on him for 8 seconds.
That's funny because I don't know if y'all know, but Daniel and Lester, who are really good friends of ours, YouTubers, and most of y'all know who they are.
Yeah,
if not,
but-
Daniel at Arms Family Homestead and Lester at I'm a Survivor Donkey Sanctuary. And I don't know why it's not a donkey sanctuary anymore; it's all animals. But
Well, they're wrong for calling it that then.
you hear that, Lester?
Uh-huh.
I
I didn't do that with any force, did I?
Daniel challenged Lester to ride one of his bulls because he could ride one of his.
He didn't challenge Jamie. He challenged Lester.
Daniel was riding his bull when he told him this, but what y'all don't know is Daniel's got a mini bull, and
Oh,
Daniel's
gosh.
knees was almost touching the ground.
Oh, my gracious. Well,
So Daniel sent me a text last night and said, "When you gonna ride him?"
and I told
"I ain't
Jason,
gonna
Jason
get on
said,
him. No way."
Daniel just asked me when I was going to ride Moody. I said, he should have sent me that text because I will do it. But Jason always tells me every time I do something dangerous that the baby's got to have a mama. And he's not talking about no bun and no oven. He's talking about my baby in there. It's 11 years old.
Marycarl. Yeah.
No bun in the oven.
No bun in the oven. The other thing that we got that some people were not very nice about it and some people weren't
What did we get?
is, are we going to eat him?
Oh, goodness,
Or
yes.
why? I guess the main thing is why. Why are we not going to? Why would you want to waste your money on something like blah, blah, blah? You know, we had some people that were nice about it. Don't get me wrong, I did. But we had some people that were very, very not nice about it that, you know, just absolutely just were losing it that we're going to have a pet steer. But I understand why some people were, you know, curious as to why. And, you know, the main reason is that, you know, we love our animals and they give us happiness and they give us joy. So therefore, that's what they do for us. We may be different than most farms out there. We're almost like a hybrid.
You know what I saw?
We're like a giant hobby farm that has pets for animals, and we've had pets that were
Pets for animals.
Yeah. Oh gosh, animals that were pets, and we've had animals that weren't pets.
Some people said that we needed to change from Cog Hill Farm to Cog Hill Sanctuary.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say that. And, you know, when we first started this thing, this was when we first started our farm, it was way before YouTube, and we were a farm. You know, we were selling eggs, we were selling meat chickens, we were selling rabbits. You know, we were selling a lot of things, and we were a profitable farm. And we had future plans at one time of having a CSA or a market garden or that kind of thing. So yeah, we were a farm. But then things kind of, but we still had pets.
Yeah.
You know, we still had farm pets. You know, Peaches has been here for 6 years, maybe even going on getting close to 7 maybe now.
Right.
We have no intentions of eating Peaches, never.
No. No, you wouldn't find me eating peaches.
We've always had tons of chickens that have always been pets that we never were going to eat or anything like that.
Marycarl has quail that are pets, but
Yeah.
also we had quail that we consumed.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know where you draw the line with us as to what's pet and what's not, but I don't think it'll ever be classified as one or the other as far as flower farm or animal sanctuary or petting zoo. I don't
Right.
think it'll ever be that. I think it'll always just be Cog Hill Farm because you never know what we're going to do next.
Never know what we're going to do next. And that's been our name from the get-go. And, you know, changing it really would mess a lot of things up.
It would.
It would mess a lot of things up. I mean, everything. It would have to be approved. Even on stuff like YouTube would have to approve it. Google, I would lose my verification status where we're verified.
It's going to stay Cog Hill
Yeah.
Farm no matter what if we become a full-fledged flower farm and never have another animal on this farm, which ain't going to happen,
Yeah.
it would still be Cog Hill Farm.
That's right.
Because farm doesn't only mean animals. Farm can be a variation of lots
Flower
of different
farm.
things.
That's right.
That's
right.
Farm is a broad topic.
It is a broad topic. And there's at one time I had a lot of people say that we were actually a ranch and we wasn't a farm because ranch is usually considered animals. But I think that's kind of a regional thing.
Well, growing up, I always thought in order to be a farm that you needed to have a cotton picker and that you needed to have 500 head of cattle.
Yeah.
Or, you weren't a farm. We are not a farm as to what I knew of growing up.
Right.
So it's just a broad
It is. It's
word.
just a big umbrella. And we don't get caught up on words. We really don't.
We don't. We really don't. And
on words.
we don't want to steer anybody away from what their reasoning is for saying Moody's a steer or a bull or a cow.
Or that we're not a farm.
Or that we're not a farm.
We're not a homestead anymore.
But I just feel like life is too short to be worried about how you pronounce something or how you say something.
We actually, we kind of joke at it.
Yeah, we do.
We
We do
just-
kind of joke about it.
it
But
just
we
gets
want y'all to know
comical
that
to us.
it's just not high on our agenda to make sure that we pronounce and to say the correct thing all the time.
Right.
If I had to sit down and reach out to everybody and figure out how you're supposed, we'd lose a lot of We use a lot of sleep.
Especially me, because I can't pronounce nothing right.
Oh, goodness.
I couldn't even pronounce specific in the video.
Let me tell y'all. So this place that we went to get all Moody's supplies was in a next town over.
Yeah.
And it's still in Chilton County, which is our county, I believe. I believe I'm saying that right.
Uh-huh.
But I believe it's in Chilton County.
So new.
Y'all don't bust me up now if I said it wrong. But so we've been wanting to go to this place for a long time because they have some pretty cool. Hey, I went away.
Did it go completely away?
I think so.
Okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, Marycarl's been saying she wanted to go to Garrison's Feed, Farm and Home. Garrison's Farm and Home. She wanted to go there. So we told Jason when we were talking about going to get Moody's stuff, I said, maybe we could go to Garrison's. And he said, where is it? And we said, in Thorsby. And so the next time we got ready to go, he said, y'all ready to go to Thornsby?
I put an N in it.
Thornsby. And me and Marycarl,
no idea, but
Marycarl and I looked at each other and we were like, where is he talking about? Thornsby.
For some reason, I thought Thorsby had an N in it. I don't know
Thornsby.
why.
We going to Thornsby, y'all.
Just sounds like it needs an N.
It's all right. We knew where you were talking about from that point forward. And we just grinned and kept on going.
It was funny, though, wasn't it?
It was.
It was funny.
So now every time we go to Garrison's, we have to say we're going to Thornsby.
The Thornsby.
Yep. Wow. Hey, we hired a contractor.
We did get us a contractor, y'all.
His name is Brant.
And he's
a young guy.
He's a young man. And I just
got a good vibe.
Well, not only that, y'all know about Greg. Everybody knows about Greg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Greg's a
Great Greg. That's what we need to call him. Great Greg. GG. He's even been by here and been checking on us. He even came by here and helped me with what did he come by here help me
plumbing.
with? Plumbing. I had
And
asked him
laid our
some plumbing
house out
questions.
while he was here.
And yeah, laid our house out, helped us with Brent, and it's just been.
Jason's been calling him Brent. So if he says Brent, then y'all know he's talking about Brant because that's his name.
Like Thornsby with an N.
So Brent is our house builder.
It is Brent.
And he's doing a lot of metal barn dominiums.
Right.
He knows what he's doing. We have no doubt. We've went and seen his work. He built Greg's barn.
Yes, he did build Greg's barn. That was one reference we had. And and he's been super reliable. He's answered all of our texts. Other good thing is that I think he's going to let me participate somewhat.
Well, Jason's told him that he can hold a hammer in his tool belt and that he'll be of any assistance that he needs to be
I can go
during
fetch
this build.
tools. I can go hold a ladder.
Hey, you still got husband jobs too now.
I
Don't
know.
sign up too much. I am not able to cook a full-fledged meal out of this camper like I just knew I wouldn't be able to. So the grill master over here,
It has been, you know what?
he's got to be off work in time to cook dinner.
I have thoroughly enjoyed it, though. I really have. You got me one of those heaters.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I've always said, let's get one. And I thought, man, things don't work.
It's one of those big patio
You know what I'm
heaters.
talking- yeah, one of those patio heaters.
We don't
And
have a
it's
patio, but
No.
we got a heater.
But I always thought, them things don't work. They really do work. I got it right beside the grill. It's been cool at night.
I got it on sale and just
I sit out there and the camper's got outdoor speakers on it. And I hook my Bluetooth on it. And then I can cut the radio on. And I just sit there and relax. And where we're at now is just open skies, the moon, the stars. It's just very relaxing, I must say.
And
I
I've
thoroughly enjoyed it.
I've started using my Instapot a little bit more.
You have.
I have very little pantry space, and we moved all of our canned goods from the old Cog Hill, which had ample pantry space, to here. And I had a lot of canned goods that I really just didn't know what I was going to do with. And I put them all in the pot one day, and I cooked us up a delicious soup.
It was really good.
It was really good, like there was not a drop left.
Gosh, and it was
I don't
everything in there.
Know if y'all were just so deprived of a meal, or
It
not
was
say a
good.
meal because you've been cooking on the grill, but like a Brooke meal, or what happened. But I just dumped all kind of stuff in, and y'all were like, man, what all's in this? And I was like, well, a dump of this and a dump of that.
It was like black black beans and pinto beans and
It was all kind of beans, and then a couple
carrots,
of cans of crushed tomatoes, and some carrots,
taco seasoning,
a little bit of everything.
It was really good.
I just threw it all together, and then I thought, how am I gonna know how long to cook this?
Yeah.
And I just mashed the button, and it was ready, and it was good.
It was so, and we ate on it for like 4 days.
Yeah, it was really good. So I'm gonna start, dumping some more stuff in the Instapot as the weather gets not so participating for the grill.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to have some rainy weather coming up in the winter.
Yeah, we're going to have some rainy weather coming up and some super cold weather. I don't know how.
It's not going to be super cold.
That heater works, but I don't know how well it works when it's 24 outside, which we don't have that many 24-degree days anyway.
No, especially not right at sundown. It would be on into the wee hours of the morning before it got down that low. Hey, but I'm thinking, so Brant is our contract.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he's not our contractor. He's going to get the house in the dry.
We're actually our contractor.
We're our contractor, and that's why I took that back. But so he's thinking it's going to be about 4 weeks before the trusses get ready.
Correct.
That would put us at about middle of December. And he said it's probably, going to take about 7-8 days on each building.
Right.
So I'm thinking by the first of the year, we might have a shelter.
So exciting.
So exciting. So excited.
It is, things are starting to fall in place. I will say this, though. The water lines have taken me way longer than I anticipated. At some point, because what did I order today with my dad? Because we're running wire through it, too.
Wire?
Well,
you ordered wire?
You ordered wire, and it was 1,100 foot of wire. So it's basically 1,100 foot of pipe times 2 because we're running power in it, and then we're running water in it. And we can run those in the same ditch as long as they're in conduit, or the wire's in conduit, and the water's got me in pipe, of course. But that has been a chore.
Yeah, I kind of knew it was going to be a big job, but I knew if we didn't get started now, then we weren't going to have it done by the time.
I was thinking like 3 days and I'd have it done.
Everything takes time. You're a one-man show.
It has been.
With this little
But I will say this,
here.
though. I was giddy because I was having issues with up there where it comes down at the drive.
Nobody's going to know what you're talking about.
I know, but you may know what I'm talking about on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, but that's not going to matter.
So I was worried about this one spot. Been worried about it for 2 days now. Got it glued in. Perfect. I was so happy. So then I was worried about, because you go down. I was worried about the next turn. It went in. Then I was worried about that spot over yonder where the cutoff valve is. And it went in. And I was like, good. So then today was my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
His name's Joe.
So I called my daddy and I said, happy birthday, Dad. And then I said, I got a question for you. And so I asked him about the question because we were thinking about getting temporary power, even though Brant said he didn't need it, but it would be convenient because he has a generator. And Dad said, that's no problem. And so I got talking to him, and he told me I need to measure for the wire. That wire was on sale right now, whoever supplier he buys it from. And if you guys don't know, my dad owns an electrical business, and he's an electrical contractor. So he's like, wire's on sale. He said, I was fixing to call and tell you that, and so I need to know how much you need. So I got to measuring it and all, and next thing I know, talking to him, and lo and behold, an hour later, him and his 2 men are here with the trencher helping me set the temporary pole.
The temporary pole is now set.
It is now set, and we got a trench dug to the barn so the wire can be laid for that.
Yep.
And this is the barn behind the house. And so I had to stop working on the water pipe. That was my point I was getting to. So that's going to push me over to another day. But
it's okay.
But we did get something accomplished today.
But you know what?
What's that?
It's not like we're waiting on you to get it hooked up so we can have water.
We got water.
We've got water. We've got power.
We got power.
So this is just in addition to.
In addition to.
This is to supply the house and supply the barn and supply the animals with water so we don't have to lug a water hose everywhere.
Right.
So
I was telling Marycarl in one of the videos, and I was like, now after I got started on it, I originally told you maybe I ought to share a water spigot because there's 4 pastures out there. I could put the water spigot and just put it in between them, and that water spigot could feed 2 pastures. Then I was like, you know what? We're doing this. They're only going to get one shot at doing this. Why not just put 4 spigots in there and be done with it? Me and you kind of agreed on that. Now, looking at it, I told her, I wish I'd have split them water spigots.
Well, I'll tell you what I told her. I started telling her about how Brant was going to probably get started around the middle of December, and that we might have, I don't know if he'll start on the garage first or the house first, but we'll have the garage or the house, framed up by about the 1st of January. I said, and I was thinking if we wanted to, we could go on and start moving our stuff in the garage, out of the pods and stuff. Yeah. I said, we could even set up a bed and we could sleep in there. Yeah. She said, Mama, have you lost your mind? And I said, okay, maybe I'm just, they say if you ever move in your house before it's finished, then you'll never finish it. Yeah. And I didn't mean in the house. I mean in the garage.
There's a channel called Little Mountain Life that's building a barnuminium.
Gosh, dog it. You know what? Keep talking.
Okay. And they had a camper, and they live up north, and they're in the mountains. And the snow ended up falling and collapsed their camper. So they had to move into the barnuminium.
Oh, my gracious,
and
that's
terrible.
They got
2 young kids, like toddlers, like 3 and 4-ish.
Guess what I forgot?
And they've been...
I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, but I
bet
just
that's rough,
can't
innit?
imagine.
Guess what I forgot?
What'd you forget?
Oh, my gracious. Do you not remember when I got my phone and I made you keep talking? And I said I'm looking.
Well, yeah, you're looking for...
The name of the show we're watching.
What was the name of it?
I just about ended the podcast and didn't tell people.
Well, they would have let us know about it.
It's called All Creatures Great and Small.
Okay.
And it says it's... Oh, my. It's not the 1700s. It's 1937. So, I don't know where I got the 1700s from. Because when you said that about their clothes, I was like, these people don't dress like that.
Oh, my God.
I wonder why they don't. I was thinking to myself, they dress differently. They had leather boots on, and the ladies don't have antebellum dresses on. And
it's 1930.
It's 1930s. And it's in Yorkshire.
Oh, my gosh.
That's England, right?
Brooke. You're going to not only have the cattle folks mad at us and the farming folks, and then you're going to have our UK pals over there mad at us.
Granddaddy was alive when this... Granddaddy was 8 years old when this show was filmed.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said the 1700s. Can you delete all that?
You want me to? You be edited it out.
I don't know what and I promise you, I don't drink a lick of alcohol. So I hadn't been drinking. I just got confused.
Oh my gosh, my
it's called
stomach's
All
hurting.
Creatures Great and Small, and it's set in the 1930s in Yorkshire, and it's on PBS. And Marycarl and I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Good night.
I'm crying.
Good night.
Oh, me.
Y'all be good, okay?
Oh, my gracious, I am. I do want to say before we go.
You can't.
We do got two new shirts out.
Oh, gracious.
They got our new Nugget shirt out, and I love this shirt. It turned out really well.
He and Marycarl
we did
design these one day, and I was off doing something else, probably watching the show from the 1700s.
What were you doing? You were gone somewhere.
No, I was outside. I was painting the coop.
Okay.
I was painting the coop.
Okay.
And so they placed the order for these new shirts.
We did.
And they got a Nugget one and a Zerk one, but they didn't get me a Zerk one.
Didn't get you a Zerk. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't either. Because Marycarl didn't get a Nugget one.
She didn't get a Nugget one, did she?
Nope.
We had to go back and regroup.
We do.
But this is the actual picture of Nugget.
It's a photograph.
It's a photograph I took, and and I turned it into a black and white design and put his name under it. You know, my original plans of this shirt, and this is if you look on our Instagram, it says that on there, emu hair don't care.
And that's what Jason was going to put on it.
Originally, I was going to put on here, but then I started thinking, I like this shirt, and that there may be a lot of men out there wouldn't like the emu hair don't care. And then I put
I didn't think
on.
of that.
And so I had both of them side by side, and I got 2 males that I sent it to. And one was Wes at the Naked Hog, and one was Chad at Adler Farm. And I said, which one, guys? And
overwhelming.
Both of them said Nugget.
But if I had sent it to 2 of my girlfriends,
they probably would have said emu hair don't care.
That's right.
But I thought male and females would like just the plain Nugget. So that's what I went with. Matter of fact, he even said that Case liked the Nugget one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Nugget.
The Zerk one is hand-drawn by Marycarl.
It is.
She loves to draw birds.
She does.
And she wants to know if people out there would be interested in one of Peanut and one of Mondu.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that because she has her own Instagram channel. Is it my tears? Because you have tears.
I do have tears still.
She has her own Instagram. It's what?
MC Cog Hill Farm.
We've told y'all that 100 times, but she gets all kind of giddy when she has new subscribers.
She's blown up.
She likes to post pictures of her birds and her things that she enjoys, and she wants to know if people would be interested in a Mondu shirt or a Peanut shirt.
You know what I thought about is it don't cost us anything to make them, just the time. It does take us a while.
Well, she's already got the drawings done.
I know, so hers was good because she's already got them done. We just got to get them into form. We can put on a
She
shirt.
tells her daddy all the time. She says, Daddy, can we make this shirt? Can we do this? And she wants Zerk to be in more of the videos, too.
Okay.
She told me that on the way home tonight. She said, Daddy used to video Zerk, but he doesn't anymore. And I told her, I said, it's kind of hard to video him when he's in the camper.
It is kind of hard to video him
so
when he's in the camper.
So she has this, it's called an aviator harness. And she follows all these bird people. And they use these harnesses to keep them from flying away. Well, Zerk wouldn't fly away. We all know that story about me calling him and coming back. But they're safe. They're very lightweight. It just goes right up under their wings. And she's been working with him, and he'll put his head through it, and he'll put it on with no problem.
Really?
And so she's going to start bringing Zerk outside for a little bit at a time with, her, so he can be in the videos.
My anxiety's already climbing because if something happens to that darn bird,
nothing's going to happen to him. I can promise you.
I can see me running around this 40 acres chasing a bird flying, 300 foot in the air.
We've done it before.
Yes, we have.
All right. So.
Oh, my gracious. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.